Good morning, everyone. Momma Jo here. Welcome back. And if you're new here, I'm so glad you're here. Today, I am going to make easy peasy cinnamon rolls. My grandsons are going to be here today, and I like to give them a little treat. And so we'll get started. I'm going to insert a picture of the ingredients that you'll need, and I'll show you the steps. We'll be right back. Okay, folks, I'm going to try to make this work here. I've already gone over and took my ring off and washed my hands so they're good and clean. I have a Silpat here. If you don't have a Silpat, you could probably use parchment paper. Over here, I'm using a pie plate that I've greased. If you don't, you could also use a cake pan. In this small bowl, I have 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar, and I have 1 tablespoon of cinnamon that I have mixed together. In a small bowl, I've taken 2 tablespoons of butter, and I melted in my microwave for like 30 seconds. Okay, the first thing we want to do is lightly flour our surface. Just take your hand and spread the flour all over the work surface. This is what's going to make your cinnamon rolls easy peasy. It probably looks backward here, but it says Pizza Buddy pizza dough. You can buy this, like Walmart carries it in their deli bakery section. It's not the canned and it's not the frozen dough. So what we're going to do is open this up. It's a little sticky. It sticks to the inside of the bag. I'm kind of going to pull it away from the wrapper. It's really sticking. There we go. It's coming. Get as much of it out of there that you can. Probably should have did that part off camera. Okay, I think I got most of it. Here's a little bit. Pull that off. We want as much of that dough as we can use. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay. Kind of just meshing it together. All right, I'm using this little roller I have here. And I'm going to put a little flour on that all the way around. And a little bit on my dough. Turn it over. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start rolling this out. And what I want to do is I want to make it as thin as I can get it. But I also want to try to get it into the shape of a square. This dough has been resting in my refrigerator for probably 3 or 4 days. So it doesn't want to roll out, but it will. You just have to work with the dough. Probably should have gotten my bigger rolling pin out. Okay, it's getting there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my bigger rolling pin out, and I'm going to get it rolled out into the rectangular shape that I can get it in, and I'll bring you right back. All right, I'm back. I got the big rolling pin out. It made a big difference. You really have to work this dough, okay? Because it'll keep wanting to draw itself back in. But if you keep rolling it and working it, you can get it into a square. It doesn't have to be perfect. What you want is you want it to be long, because we're going to be rolling it up. If I had to, I got some measurements here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'd say I've got about 12 inches this way. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably about 8 inches this way overall. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Now, we're going to take this melted butter. I've got a little pastry brush here, and I'm going to melt some butter. I'm going to melt some butter. It's already melted. I'm going to put this butter all over the top. Close to the edge. I wouldn't go all the way to the edge, because we're going to roll this up and it's not going to want to stick if we take it all the way to the edge. But if you do, it should still work out. Okay, you're going to have some leftover melted butter, which is good because we're going to put that on top of the cinnamon rolls. Now we're going to take this cinnamon sugar and we're going to sprinkle it on top of the dough, close to the edges. I find this makes a lot, so you don't have to use the entire thing. So just use whatever, you know, unless you're going to maybe do 2 of these, it'll probably be enough to do 2 of these. But we want to coat it really well. It smells wonderful. I wish you could smell it. I think that's plenty. I got a little bit left in the bowl here. I'm just going to set that aside. Now, you want to go with the longest side, and we're going to start rolling it. Rolling it up. Try to roll it tightly into a tight roll. Okay. I'm moving it down. There we go. Now, I'll show you a little trick because we're getting ready, we're going to cut these. Get yourself some of your floss. Pull out, I don't know, maybe a foot. And you lift up the one end and you stick the floss underneath and bring it up, kind of like you're going to tie a shoe. The end pieces aren't as nice, but they taste just as good. All you have to do is cross it over. You're not making a knot, you're just crossing over and pull together all the way through. And you have yourself your first roll. I'm going to put this down in my pan. I'm going to put it in the center. Let me see. There we go. And then I'm going to start doing the others, and I'm going to keep putting them in here until I get this pan filled up. I'd say make them about an inch or an inch and a half slices. Look at that one. See how many we can get out of this roll. I'm sure you don't want me to watch me slice each and every one of these. I'm going to bring you right back. Okay. Look here. I got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And depending on how you cut it, you probably get like 9. And I'm going to take the rest of that melted butter, pastry brush, and I'm going to brush it over the tops. Okay. If you have a warm place, you could put these in or maybe in the oven or something, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let these rest. I'm going to let these rest about an hour to let them get a little bit bigger. With yeast in it, they should get bigger. And if not, at this point, you could go ahead and bake them. But if you want to do that, go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I wanted to check on the time. 20 to 23 minutes. But I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to let these rest, and I'm going to come back and show you how they've gotten a little bit bigger. And when I'm ready to bake these, I'll go ahead and preheat my oven to 350 degrees, and we'll put these in, and I'll show you what they look like when they come out. And when they start to cool, we'll make the icing, and we'll put the icing on them. Okay, the rolls have risen. Look how they've expanded. I think if I would have left them any longer, they would probably be too big for this pan. 1 hour. So what I'm going to do now is I've got my oven preheating to 350 degrees. I'm going to pop them in. I'm going to bake them for 20 to 23 minutes. Then I'm going to bring them out and let them cool on a rack. I'm going to bring you back and we're going to make the icing, and we're going to put the icing on the rolls. See you in a bit. Here they are out of the oven. The pan is still pretty warm, but I can hold it with my hands. See how nice and big they got? Like I said, I wouldn't leave them in the leave them out too long. If you bake them right away, they would expand some, but not as big as these. So I'm going to go ahead and make the icing, and we're going to put the icing on. Let's set this out of the side. In this bowl, I have sifted already 1 cup of confectioner sugar. And to that, we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then we're going to add a little bit of half and half. You won't need much, just pour a little bit in. Be very careful. A little bit goes a long ways. And really, it just depends on the consistency that you would like for your icing or glaze to be. If you want to be able to pour it, make it a little thinner. If you want to be able to spread them, you want it to be more on the thicker side. As you can see, it's still pretty dry, so I'm going to add some more. I'm trying to take my spoon and make sure there's no lumps, kind of mash it down. Now see? No, let me turn it this way. It's pourable at this point. I think that's pretty good. All right. Bring the rolls back over here. And I'm just going to kind of drizzle, just let it run over the rolls. Make sure every roll gets some. And because the rolls are still warm, it should help it to spread. Try to get as much out of here as I can. Okay, that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to have some taste testers for you here real soon as they get home, and we'll be right back.
Very good. Hard to believe that's pizza dough. Soft and tender. The icing's excellent. Thumbs up. Be sure you check out YouTube Shorts, or my son Anthony, my grandson Noah. See what they think of the cinnamon roll. And make sure you check out next video. Don't know what it's going to be yet. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Come back for some more goodness.